coffee. Coffee with Tim Black. Yes, I am coffee. Coffee with Tim Black. All right. Hey, everybody, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to Coffee with Tim Black. Glad you can make it. If you're out there, I hope you are. Periscope, Facebook, YouTube. Come on through. We got a lot to cover today, a lot of Trump news, a lot happening with the GOP tax bill, McCabe's testimony, much going on, much to cover. I would appreciate it greatly if you would share this on your social media. If you're out there and you're on Facebook, let a friend know that you're watching the Tim Black Show. Same thing if you're on YouTube or Periscope. And Periscope people, I need you to let me know because I heard that the feed on Periscope is sometimes pretty choppy. I don't know what's up with that. I'd like to start here today because this needs to be said. You know, I did a video yesterday about well, it wasn't a video actually. Yesterday's broadcast, I think it was the Coffee with Tim Black show. I do so many shows, I forget which one. But I'm pretty sure I talked about Josh Fox and Jill Stein. And I talked about how they were accusing Jill Stein of having connections to Russia. This was the conversation. This is what the allegations were being made because the Senate Intelligence Committee decided, well, hey, now we need to look at Jill Stein and see if she's colluding with Russia. And I find it very obviously propaganda. Obvious propaganda by, moreover, the Democratic Party, where they are slandering people with the Russia narrative. Now, we've been hearing this now for over a year, how anybody, everyone who is for some reason on the wrong side of the Democratic Party is considered to be a Russian operative. Many Americans have waken up to the reality that this is just slander. This is just a method of smearing. But some of us, frankly, need to be awoken. Jill Stein ran a campaign built on the principles of the Green Party that has existed for years and years in the United States, that far reaches beyond the United States, loosely affiliated with other Green Party memberships across the globe. The Green Party's tenets of their campaign are the environment, are ending interventionist wars, are working for the people, humanitarian efforts. I know because I've worked with many different members of the Green Party, from Dr. Jill Stein to Ajamu Baraka to Margaret Flowers to Sherry Hunkala. I'm just going off the top of my head. I've worked with a number of these people. I and others in independent media need to step up. I'm stepping up and I'm saying this plain and simple. If you go after the Green Party with slanderous critiques, slanderous claims about Russia connection, we as independent media will do everything in our power to beat you back. We will use all of our voices to rise in unison to destroy this witch hunt. It's not bad enough that you slander anyone who appears on the network, RT America or RT, as a Russian operative. That's not enough for you. You have to now go after candidates and then say that they are somehow shams or that they are somehow working with the Kremlin. Either you produce evidence or you back off. And I think more Americans need to wake up to it. I just want everyone watching to realize the seriousness of these allegations, the seriousness that they can pick anyone that we pick, anyone that the people decide is a leader, and use the same tactic. No evidence has been produced. And to just further make my point, a friend of my show sent me an email today. It's about Al Franken and this is going to boggle your mind. You are going to be Liberals who pushed Senator Al Franken of Minnesota to resign over groping and forced kissing accusations were actually unsuspecting dupes carrying out Moscow's agenda, according to the latest Russiagate conspiracy theory. Listen to this. When it comes to politics, the most outlandish stories with baseless claims typically swirl within partisan circles. This is not the case of the diehard believers crusading against Russia for alleged teaming up with Donald Trump to defeat their preferred 2016 presidential nominee. It has gone so bad. It has gone so far to the point where they're now saying, even the ones in their own organization. Remember, it was a number of female Democrat lawmakers who ousted Al Franken. It was not the people. So you mean to tell me that you believe that the power of the Kremlin is so, what's the word for it? It's so deceptive. It's so strategic that it somehow seeps into Congress, seeps into the Senate, under the watchful eyes of lawmakers who are unknown, unbeknownst to them, that the thoughts that they have in their head have been implanted by what? By Putin himself. And all this time, I thought they were just hacks. That's what I thought they were, hacks. Look, I do find it humorous that these people who were riding the Me Too movement for their own personal gain, for their own benefit with their constituents. Oh, I love women. Watch me defend a woman. That these same people may be slandered with the same smear tactics that others have been slandered with. I do find that funny, humorous, but that's not the point. The point is that they have gone so far, guys. They have jumped out the fucking gym, ladies and gentlemen. They have gone full-on crazy, motherfuckers. They have lost all semblance of reasonableness, of sanity. All of them need to check themselves into some type of ward immediately. It's gone beyond. There's a beyond you can go, and then there's a beyond the beyond. There's no ground there. There's nothing. It's darkness. It's a 100-foot drop. 1,000-foot drop. There's a 1,000-foot drop. And that's where they are. I say, man, we need to band together now. All of us with a voice, and use it to push back on this bullshit. Because it just don't stop. It's ridiculous. Now, as you know, Donald Trump's GOP tax plan was right at the doorway of passing, and then they found out they had an issue. They had a procedural issue that had to be corrected before they could finalize the agreement, finalize the circle jerk, and get it done. Well, that was done. It has been done. They have passed the GOP tax scam bill, the tax scam bill that now will reward these big corporations. Great for them, great for them, great for them. I want to put up once again, I want to put up the graph that shows you just who's making out on the tax bill. Let's see if we can find that. Can we find that? Because we had it yesterday, Tim. Do we still have it? Oh, we do. Here we go. Tax scam. These are the big winners in the tax scam. Here they go. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she marvelous? The big winners of the tax scam are the Goldman Sachs, General Electric, Citicorp, Microsoft, ExxonMobil, Pfizer, Walmart, Chevron, Google. And look who the biggest winner is. The biggest bang for the buck is Apple. Apple will make the most. They contributed, what, $500,000 to Republican candidates, and what do they get in return? A whopping $47 billion payoff. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, President Trump claimed tax reform essentially repeals Obamacare. Yeah, it repeals Obamacare. You know, people hate it because it has Obama's name in it. That thing, well, you know what? It's not perfect. It's horrible, in fact. Anything by the Heritage Foundation is horrible. That's what I believe. Anything by Heritage Foundation, right? But Trump is very happy about this. In fact, but they say he hasn't done his part yet. He hadn't put his signature on it yet. But I expect he will. President Donald Trump on Wednesday revealed in Congress the Congress passage of a massive $1.5 trillion tax reform bill, claiming that once he signs it into law, it will propel economic growth. That's what he expects it to do. Although we know that trickle-down economics never really worked for those folks who are trying to get the trickles. It doesn't seem to ever work out for us down here trying to get the trickles. But Trump also touted the bill's passage as a technical repeal of the Affordable Care Act, an objective Congress has not been able to accomplish despite the Republican majority. But the reality is more complex. Now, this is reported by Time magazine. We have essentially repealed Obamacare. We will come up with something that will be much better, whether it's block grants or whether it's taking what we have and doing something terrific. But Obamacare has been repealed in this bill. Now, Trump said these remarks at the beginning of a cabinet meeting referring to the Affordable Care Act. The tax bill indeed eliminates the individual mandate, a key component of the Affordable Care Act that penalizes those who decline to get coverage. We know this, right? Okay. Now, here goes some of the consequences of this repealing of Obamacare. And yes, I do understand there are people all over this country, man, who are being sacked with these penalties. And I don't like that at all. I don't like it. What I want is a remedy to the situation. There has to be another way. I don't understand how all these other countries can come up with ways to cover everyone, and somehow the greatest country in the world, according to all my patriots, all these patriots, we the greatest. What are we the greatest for? Reality TV shows? What are we the greatest for? Fertilizer? What are we the greatest for? Britney Spears? What are we the greatest for? The Kardashians showing their ass? Why can't we be the greatest and giving the best health care in the world? Why not? I'm off the hook today. This is ridiculous. Now, here goes some of the consequences. Eliminating the individual mandate will reduce the federal deficit by $338 billion over the next decade, according to an estimate from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. But at the same time, however, the CBO also says such a move would increase the number of uninsured Americans by 4 million in 2019, 13 million by 2027, leading to an average 10% increase in premiums for those who buy insurance individually over the next decade. See, we get the tax break that ain't permanent. The ones up top, the corporation tax breaks, are permanent. And then over the long run, we pay more for insurance. That's us, man. I'm just saying. Make America Great Again should actually be, for everybody. I mean, if that's the agenda. All right, so now this right here, I don't even know what to make of this. I don't know what the hell we're doing as a country, but we're doing it. And you know what? I think that's the real thing about our Congress, is about our politics, about our president, about all of it, everything in Washington. It's like no one knows what they're doing. Do they know what they're doing? But they're doing it. Trump threatens to end American aid. We're watching those votes at the UN, okay? Now, let me explain why he's threatening to end American aid. President Trump threatened on Wednesday to cut off American aid to any country that votes in favor of a resolution at the United Nations General Assembly denouncing his decision to formally recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Why? Mr. Trump's statement, delivered at his last cabinet meeting of the year, followed a letter from the American ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, in which she warned that the United States would take note of any country that votes in favor of the measure. All these nations that take our money and then vote against us at the Security Council or the Assembly, they take hundreds of millions of dollars and billions of dollars and they vote against us, Mr. Trump said. Well, we're watching those votes. Let them vote against us. We'll save a lot. We don't care. Mr. Trump added that people of America are tired. People are tired of the United States. People that live here are great citizens. They love this country. They're tired of this country being taken advantage of. We're not going to be taken advantage of any longer. No, this is a situation that's being created by your actions, sir. We're the only country that's making this move for Jerusalem. Why are we doing it? You need to explain, articulate in very simple terms why this is important and why all the other countries think it's not. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to drive a car with my feet. I like driving cars with my feet, driving a car with my feet. Hey, look, no one else drives cars with their feet. Why am I driving my car with my feet? At least articulate to me why we need to drive a car with our feet. Explain to me why that's important. Explain to me how that helps America. How does this help America? Now, it goes on to say here, this is the New York Times. They say it's difficult to see how Mr. Trump, they don't even want to call him president. It's the resistance. It's the resistance. See, when they do stuff like this, I just laugh, man. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, how Trump could deliver on this threat to cut financial assistance since it could involve cutting off aid to a number of strategic allies. The United States has given $77.4 billion in foreign aid to Egypt between 1948 and 2016, according to the Congressional Research Service, including about $1.3 billion in annual military since 1987. I wonder how much money have we given to Saudi Arabia? Somebody tell me that. That's what I'd like to know. I'd like to know how much money have we given to the Saudis. Uh-oh, I hear the footsteps of the stormtroopers coming. The General Assembly is scheduled to vote on Thursday on a resolution that would condemn Mr. Trump's recognition of Jerusalem, which is fiercely contested by Israelis and Palestinians, and urge other countries not to move their embassies to the city from Tel Aviv. Mr. Trump said earlier this month that the United States would move its embassy to Jerusalem, though administrative officials said a move was several years away because of logistic issues in constructing a new embassy complex. I've heard a lot of people make arguments. Even my friends make arguments about this issue. My thing is, I don't understand why we're involved. I don't know why we have to lead at everything. Why? Why? And you know, these Trump supporters out there who voted for Trump, some of you voted for Trump because you said, we're tired of taking care of the world's mess. We're tired. We need to deal with home. We need to deal at home. And then your Trumpy does shit everywhere else except here. And you go, well, that's my guy. No, don't just go, well, that's your guy. Get pissed off like me. Then make some phone calls. Do some blogs. Make some videos. Let's get the word out. This is garbage. I don't understand it. If you can articulate to me why this is a great move for us, please do. Send your hate mail to tim@timblacktv.com. Now I got a message for you, for all you people out there who say votes don't count. I hear it all the time. Votes don't count, Tim Black. Who cares about voting? Voting don't mean nothing. Man, votes, forget your votes, man. They going to do what they want to do anyway. Well, to that point, Democrat wins Virginia House race by 1 vote margin. In your face. You say votes don't count, but I'm pretty sure the people that voted in this, they realize how much their vote counted. It's sort of like that skit where the racist people voted for Obama. They said, I'm going to vote for the black guy. They wake up in the morning and, oh shit, he won. That's this story. A recounted Virginia House race is poised to split control of the Commonwealth House of Delegates after an election left the Democratic candidate ahead by a margin of 1 vote. Virginia Republicans released a statement Tuesday afternoon conceding the race after the close recount. Two Democrats Sally Simons over Republican David Yancey. Oh, David Yancey, man. That sucks, bro. It's a hard one. That's a hard one, man. They often say that football is only a game of inches. Well, hell, politics is only a game of just one vote, a single votes, in this case anyway. The split will mean Virginia Republicans and Democrats must craft a power-sharing agreement, which will include committee assignments and who's elected Speaker of the House. In the initial count, Simmons was behind by 10 votes, and the recount found her ahead instead by 1 vote. Give it up for that. I know Yancey was like, I know I'm on an episode of Punk, right? This got to be an episode of Punk. Where Ashton Kutcher at? I ain't seen him since he divorced Demi Moore. Come on out, Ashton. No, sir. The truth is you really did lose by 1 vote. All right. Let's jump to McCabe. Let's talk about McCabe, y'all. Let's get into this. FBI's McCabe grilled nearly 8 hours amid anti-Trump bias allegations. FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe testified behind closed doors for nearly 8 hours Tuesday on Capitol Hill amid calls for his firing over allegations of conflicts of interest and anti-Trump political prejudice at the Law Enforcement Bureau. McCabe's testimony before the House Intelligence Committee, which had been scheduled from last week, was the latest development in a controversy swirling around text messages exchanged between FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, who worked on Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia probe. McCabe was believed to be the Andy to whom Strzok and Page referred to in their messages. I'll be a little bit surprised if McCabe is still an employee of the FBI this time next week. U.S. Rep. Trey Gowdy, a member of the House panel, told Fox News several days ago. Gowdy and other committee members were tight-lipped on the details of McCabe's testimony on Tuesday and most avoided speaking with reporters, but the committee's ranking member, U.S. Rep. Adam Schiff, said McCabe has been a professional FBI agent and he does not understand the cause of him to be fired. You know, what's happening right now is a power struggle. It's pushback. It's pushback from all the Russia talk that we've been hearing from this whole investigation that is yet to my knowledge to reveal true collusion with the Russians by Trump. No, yeah, you know what? I said this yesterday. I'm going to keep saying it. At the end of the day, all it's going to be, Trump did some strange business dealings. He did something. He built a hotel and somebody helped him finance a hotel. That's what it's going to come down to. And we're going to be so far away from the original reason that we were told about the investigation or what the investigation was based on. We're going to be so far away from it, we're even going to be able to see it. Hey, what's that speck over there in the horizon? Oh, that's the reason we started this investigation. Damn, I can't make it out. Give me some binoculars. That's this Russia investigation. It done gone to Papadopoulos and Manafort, and these are for things they did when they weren't even working for Trump. This Russia nonsense, like I said, it's gotten totally out of hand. Now they're going after Jill Stein. You know, they got to axe the ground because they think Jill Stein stole the election from Hillary. It's the most crazy, stupid, dumbfounding thing in America. It really is. Now, McCabe, I don't know what McCabe. Were you working against Trump? Were you so biased that you could not do your job of pushing pencils, man? Like, what is this? What is it? House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte said last week that the text was very troubling because it implied the agents had a plan to take action to make sure that Donald Trump does not get elected president of the United States at the highest levels of the FBI. You know, I don't know how you prove that there was any intention behind the text messages. Can we prove that? Can you prove it? If you can prove it, push back all day. I just want this over. I want the evidence produced. And I think most Americans out there, most people, not just most Americans, People all over the globe are hearing about this nonsense. They're laughing at us, going, what is wrong with America? What is going on? They're wacky. They're smoking some wacky weed. Did the whole country legalize a special strain of marijuana, cannabis that gets them all insanity about Russia? It's garbage. That's what I think. Now, I would like to close the show with saying, NPR, go fuck yourself. Now, you know, it's one thing when the dinosaur media comes after independent media. You kind of expect it on certain levels. It's a badge of honor. You go, oh, the Boston Globe or the Washington Post, the New York Times, or whoever. They see me. Y'all see me doing my thing, being all independent and speaking against corruption and war and famine, and slaves in Libya, and a corrupt party and a corrupt swampland of creatures that devour our constitutional rights on a whim. But it's a whole nother thing, man, when pseudo people's free media. NPR is supposed to be a bastion of independent media, free speech, and standing up to the bullies and standing up to the corruption. And what are they doing? Instead, they're like that backstabbing villain who you didn't know was a villain, who was really supposed to be with the good guy, who was the sidekick, who turns out to be the guy that shoots the good guy in the back. Oh, you too, man? I thought you was on my side. That's NPR. Recently, they put out a hit piece on my friend Lee Camp. NPR, you need to at least have the decency of bringing Lee Camp on your show to explain the charges against him. It is not only unfair, but it's beneath the level of decency that would be expected from an organization like you. You are now a shell of your former self. You're a ghost. You're a walker. You just don't know you're dead. And if you continue down this path, independent media will rise up and reduce you to the level of CNN. That's all I got for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee with Tim Black. You know where to go. Go to TimBlackTV.com. Follow the link. Become a subscriber. Chip in what you can. It's all love. We tell the truth around here to the best of our ability, and we are not controlled, nor are we controlled opposition or whatever the hell NPR has turned into. It's like the movie Alien Resurrection where they had the different like creatures that were trying to make it something, and they were like the ones that didn't transform all the way. Well, that's what NPR is, but we're none of that. We are just me and people who help out occasionally, trying to give you the best media coverage we can give you on issues that matter. Become a part of it. Look, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again in just a couple hours for Black Word Today. Take care. Oh, and don't forget your coffee.
Coffee with Tim Black. Yes, I am coffee with Tim Black.
Look, man.